Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. As you all know, I've already published 47 YouTube videos covering beginners level, intermediate level, and advanced level concepts of Katalon Studio test automation. So, from today onwards, I'm going to teach you the AI powered test automation concepts by using Katalon Studio. As the entire world is moving towards the agentic AI, so Katalon also started implementing the agentic AI capabilities in Katalon Studio. So this is our part 1 lesson of Katalon Studio, where I'm gonna teach you the AI powered test automation basics by using the Katalon Studio. As part of this lesson, I'm going to cover three different chapters. In chapter 1, we are going to get started with the Studio Assist. As part of this chapter, in section 1, I'm going to introduce you to Studio Assist in Katalon Studio. And then I'm going to teach you how can we set up and configure the Studio Assist in Katalon. In chapter 2, I'm going to teach you the core features of Studio Assist, which is your AI powered test automation tool within Katalon Studio. As part of this chapter, in section 1, I'm going to teach you how can we generate the code from a plain English language prompt with Studio Assist in Katalon Studio. And then I'm going to teach you how can we generate the keyword suggestions, and then how can we generate the script for custom keywords by using the Studio Assist with the help of plain English language. And then in section 3, I'm going to teach you by using the plain English language prompts how can we generate the test data and how can we generate the script for data driven testing in Katalon Studio. Chapter 3, explain code using Studio Assist. As part of section 1, I'm going to teach you how can we get a help of Studio Assist in explaining the groovy script whenever you automate the test case. And then in section 2, I'm going to teach you by using the Studio Assist how we can understand the regular expressions that we are using in the groovy code. So now, without delay, let us jump onto the Katalon Studio and see all these concepts. Chapter 1, Getting Started with Studio Assist. As part of section 1 in chapter 1, I'm going to introduce you to the Studio Assist. Studio Assist is a powerful AI powered assistant embedded within Katalon Studio that helps user streamline and simplify the test automation process. The purpose is to assist both new and experienced users by providing context aware recommendations, code generation, keyword suggestions, and explanations of code snippets, all of which aim to make test creation, maintenance, and debugging faster and more accessible. What do you mean by this? Whenever a user enters a plain English language in Katalon Studio, Studio Assist can convert that plain English language into code generation, and it can suggest the keywords as well. And also, Studio Assist can explain the code snippet that you write in Catalan Studio into a plain English language so that you can understand what do you mean by the code snippet within the Catalan Studio. What are the key objectives of Studio Assist? Studio Assist aims to reduce time in test development by generating ready-made automation steps. Studio Assist cuts down the time needed to create and modify test scripts, and Studio Assist also aims to enhance test script quality. How? The feature encourages the use of best practices, providing code suggestions and explanations that improve code readability, maintainability, and reliability. And Studio Assist enables non technical users. What do you mean by this? By suggesting keywords and providing explanations in plain English, Studio Assist lowers the barrier to entry, allowing non technical users to participate in test automation. And how Studio Assist integrates with Katalon Studio. As an integrated feature in Katalon Studio, Studio Assist provides keyword suggestions. Based on user actions and script context, Studio Assist recommends Katalon's built in keywords to make creating test steps easy and accurate. Generates the code. Users can type prompts or partial code, and Studio Assist will auto complete or suggest relevant code snippets in Groovy, language that we use in Katalon Studio. Explains code snippets. Users can select any part of their code, and Studio Assist will offer plain language explanations, helping users understand how the code works and how to modify it if needed. So, what are the core features of Studio Assist? Let us recap. Code generation. Studio Assist can interpret user prompt in plain English language and turn them into executable code, greatly simplifying the process of adding complex test steps. Keyword recommendations. With access to Catalan Studio's comprehensive keyword library, Studio Assist suggests appropriate keywords for UI, API, mobile, and database testing, enabling users to create scripts quickly. And then code explanations. Studio Assist provides explanations for selected code snippets, making it easier to understand the purpose and functionality of each line of code, particularly for users who are new to scripting. Error detection and self healing. It, it assists in identifying broken elements in tests and suggests alternative locators for elements, enabling scripts to be more resilient to UI changes. What are the benefits of using Studio Assist? Improved productivity. Studio Assist's code generation and keyword suggestions save time by reducing the need for repetitive tasks. Better collaboration. Plain language explanations allow non technical team members to understand and contribute to test automation. Ease of use. With an understandable interface and assistance features, Studio Assist makes it easy to create, edit, and debug scripts without deep programming knowledge. These are the benefits of using Studio Assist in Catalan Studio. As part of section 2 in chapter 1, I'm going to teach you how can we set up and configure Studio Assist in Catalan Studio. In Katalon Studio Enterprise version 9.5.0 onwards, you can configure to use Studio Assist with your personal OpenAI or Azure OpenAI API keys. So, what are the prerequisites or requirements to start using Studio Assist in Katalon Studio? The first one is you should have the Katalon Studio Enterprise version 9.5.0 onwards, and you need to have an active Katalon Studio Enterprise license. Now let us see how can we configure Katalon Studio in your Katalon Studio Enterprise version. In Katalon Studio Enterprise, you need to click the Studio Assist icon on the main toolbar to open the settings. This is your first method. What is your second method? Our second method is you need to go to Katalon Studio Preferences, select Katalon, and then select Studio Assist. So to understand these two options to configure the Studio Assist, let us go to Katalon Studio. So this is our Katalon Studio. The first option is, if you see on the top toolbar, there is a Studio Assist icon. You need to click on the Studio Assist icon to navigate to your Studio Assist settings. That is one method. And the other method is, you need to go to Windows, Katalon Studio Preferences, select Katalon. Under Katalon, you can see Studio Assist option. So once you select the Studio Assist option, you can select either of three options. So you can select among three API based URL options. Either you can select Katalon AI service, or you can select use personal open AI key, which require your OpenAI secret key, or you can use personal Azure OpenAI API key. So if you want to use Katalon AI service, you have to enable this option in your organization. Let us go back to presentation. Katalon AI service, the first option which I told you, to use this option, the owner of your account has to be enabled AI features. So if it is disabled, you can opt for your personal OpenAI key or Azure OpenAI API key. Let us go to Katalon Studio. In my case, this Katalon AI service is enabled. In your case, that particular service might be disabled. So if this Katalon AI service is disabled, what you need to do? To enable your Katalon AI service, you need to go to Katalon account page, which is my.katalon.com, and select the account you would like to enable or disable AI. So let me go to Chrome browser. So this is the URL my.katalon.com welcome page. I have already logged in by using my enterprise username and password. And then from the account admin page, click account settings in the sidebar. Let's go back here. Select your account for which you would like to enable AI feature. So this is my account. Select this account. And here you need to select account settings. Once you select account settings, in the AI control section, click on allow the use of AI features across your account toggle. It turns blue, signifying that it's in its enabled status. Select proceed to confirm your action. Let us go back here now. So you can see there is a toggle button. This is disabling the AI feature. Allow the use of AI features across your account. You need to enable this feature, and it will ask you, are you sure to proceed with this change? Yes, you need to select proceed. As soon as you enable the AI control feature in your organization under account settings, now if you go back to your Katalon Studio, restart your Katalon Studio, and then come back to this section, then your Katalon AI service will be enabled. If this service is disabled, you can still use your personal OpenAI key, which requires your secret key, or you can use your personal Azure OpenAI API key. Chapter 2, Core Features of Studio Assist. As part of section 1 in chapter 2, you're going to learn how can we generate the code with Studio Assist when user enters a plain English language. As part of this section, I'm going to teach you three different use cases. Use case 1, I'm going to teach you how can we generate the code with Studio Assist by listing out actions as steps in plain English language. Use case 2. In this use case, you're going to learn how can we generate the code with StudioAssist by separating the objects and variables with the actions. Use case 3. In this use case, you're going to learn how can we generate the script that calls another script using StudioAssist. So now let us go to Katalon Studio and see the use case 1. Generating the code with StudioAssist by listing out actions as steps. So this is my Katalon Studio where I have enabled the StudioAssist. So first, under test case folder, I'm going to create a new folder called StudioAssist. Click OK. Under this folder, let us create a new test case. Name generate code use case 1. Click OK. Now, before we start providing the plain English language, let us see what is the application that you would like to automate. Katalon Cura Healthcare is our application. So here the home page has an object called make appointment, and then once you click on make appointment, you need to provide your username and password, and you need to click on login. That means your login page has 3 different objects: username, password and login page and login button. As soon as you click on login, again this make appointment page has drop down where you'll be selecting the facility, and then you need to select healthcare program where you need to select the radio buttons, and then you have a visit date field where you are going to select the date on which you need the appointment, and then here you need to provide your comments. This is appointment for Tokyo, and then you also have book appointment button. So make appointment has all these objects. As soon as you click on book appointment, then you will be getting the appointment confirmation. You can validate the appointment confirmation with this particular label. So this confirmation page has the label here. So now let us go back to Katalon Studio. If you see here in the object repository, I have already captured the objects that I have explained you right now. The home page has make appointment button. Login page has login password username, and your appointment page has all these objects. That means I've already captured the elements that are required to automate the application. So now let us start prompting a plain English language to automate our first use case. So the following use case is for generating code with StudioAssist by listing out actions as steps in plain English language. So this is our use case. So whatever I am providing here, these are the comments. So now let us start entering the plain English language by listing out the actions. So now /* where we are going to start entering our plain English language, and then again star forward slash. So now whatever user enters within this section, Studio Assist can understand that this plain English language can be converted to groovy language. Now let us enter this. So now I want to delete this one. So what is my first action? My first action is write a Katalon Studio test case to perform the following steps. So what are those steps? My first step is open a browser to the URL stored in the global variable dot g underscore site URL. So where it is defined, if I go to profile, in the default I've already defined this g underscore site URL here. So I'm instructing Studio Assist to consider the URL which is stored under global variable. The variable name is g underscore site URL. My second step is click the make appointment button with the ID. What is the ID of make appointment? If you see here, this is my make appointment ID. I can simply copy the ID and then paste it here. So here I can remove object repository. I need not to specify this path. So this is my make appointment button. I'm asking Studio Assist to click the make appointment button with ID name, this one. And then what is my third step? My third step is fill in the username. So as soon as you click on make appointment, I need to fill the username, password, and then click on login. So now I'm going to specify fill in the username. What is the username element? This is my username element. Right click, copy ID, and then paste it here. I can remove this one. Fill in the username with the value of the local variable username. Why I'm specifying this local variable username? Because if you see here, let us go to our variables tab. So here I need to add the variable here now. What is the variable name? My variable name is username. And what is your username? My username is John Doe. In the same way, I'm going to create another user. I'm going to create another variable which is password. What is the password? This is not a password, but this is the password, right? So now let us go to again scripting. So we have defined the local variables for username and password, right? So hence I'm specifying fill in the username of this element with value of local variable username. And then again, I'm going to mention fill in the password. What is the password object? This is my password object. Copy ID. With the value in the local variable password. And now what is my next step? My next step is click on login. Click login button with the ID What is the login button ID? This is my login button. Copy the ID and then paste it here. Once you click on login, now you need to verify that user lands onto appointment page. How? Let's enter the username, enter the password, click on login. Now I can make sure that I have this div component, right, which is div underscore appointment. Let's go back here now. Here, div underscore appointment. So here, what I'm going to prompt, my sixth step is verify that the appointment div. What is the element? This is my element. Copy the ID and paste ID here. Exists. This element exists with timeout 10 seconds. Whenever I verify if elements present or not, I'm going to provide the timeout of 10 seconds. And then what is my next step? My next step is close the browser. So this is how you can write down the steps in plain English language by listing out the actions. I'm simply writing down open browser to the URL stored in the global variable. Click the make appointment button with the button element that we stored under object repository. Fill in username with element stored in object repository with the value of local variables username, right, and then fill in the password with the element in object repository with the value in local variable password. So let's go back here now. So this is our password. I think I need to correct the variable name. So the variable name should be matched with the plain English language password. Click login button with the ID stored in object repository and then verify that appointment div element exists with timeout 10 seconds and then close the browser. Now let me use the StudioAssist and generate the groovy code for this test case. Let me save this particular test case. So if you go to manual mode, now your manual mode, you can see it's empty because I did not write any groovy code. So now let's simply select this entire section for which you would like to generate the code. You need to right click on this particular selection and then select StudioAssist and then click on generate code. So now you can see it generated the groovy code for the plain English language that we wrote above. You can see here, my first step is open browser. So it is opening the browser by using global variable dot g underscore site URL and then click make appointment button. Web UI dot click. Find test object. This one, right? It is taking from your object repository. And then fill in the username. Web UI dot set text. See, whenever I say fill in the username, it has taken the keyword, built-in keyword set text. And fill in the password, it has taken set text. Whenever I provided the plain element, it has taken find test object from page underscore login. And then here you can see I specified that with the value of local variable username. So here you can see it is calling the local variable. In the same way, password also it is calling the local variable password. And then click login button. So immediately it has taken click built-in keyword and it is finding the test object from your object repository. And then if you see here, verify that this element presents with timeout 10 seconds. Now the keyword what it suggested, verify element present, because I have provided a plain English language of verify. And then it also provided a 10 seconds as the timeout, and then close the browser. So now simply save this. If you go to manual mode, you can see now your test steps are already exist here. So now I can simply run this particular test case and see if it works. Select Chrome. So it has opened the Chrome browser. It opened the healthcare application. It's providing the username, password. That's it. It closed the browser. So simply by providing the plain English language, I have generated the code for login test case. And then I'm able to execute the test script successfully. So this is how you can use the plain language for automating your test cases by listing out actions as steps in plain English language. This is our use case 1. So what is our next use case? We need to generate the code with StudioAssist by separating the objects and variables with the actions. So let us go back to Katalon Studio. Let me create another new test case under StudioAssist folder and name this as generate code use case 2 and click OK. So this is my blank test case where I'm going to start providing the plain English language. But this time, this use case is for generating the code with StudioAssist by separating the objects and variables with the actions. Now let us start providing the plain English language. Forward slash star star forward slash. So now first I would like to separate the test objects in this use case. If you go back to our previous use case, when I am prompting the plain English language, I was specifying the objects elements also in the same line. Now I would like to separate the test objects and variables from the actions that I specify. So here I'm going to write, I have a list of test objects as below. What is my first test object? My test object is make appointment button. What is my make appointment button? So this is my make appointment button. Copy the ID and then paste it here. And then what is my next test object? Username. What is my username? So this is my username element. Copy this and paste it here. And then next object is password. So this is my password element object repository location. And then I have login button. So this is the login ID or the location in the object repository. And then what is my next object? My next object is appointment div element, where I would like to validate whether I landed to the appointment page. So this is the ID or the location of the element. So done. So I have done defining the list of test objects. And now I would like to separate the variables as well. I also have a URL global variable dot g underscore site URL. So this is my global variable name, comma, and I also have two local variables. What are those two local variables? Username and password. These are the two variables. Now I would like to start writing the actions. So this time I'm going to write the actions in different way. Write me a test case to perform the following steps. What is my first step? My first step is open browser to the URL stored in, I'm going to directly specify the variable name g site URL. That's it. And now my second step is click the make appointment button. I'm going to simply mention this name, my logical name, instead of the object element location, right? And then fill in the username and password fields based on the variables. So now based on the variables. Now I need not to specify the variable names because I've already specified two local variables named as username password. StudioAssist is intelligent enough to take the variables that we defined as same as username and password. So, and then what is my fourth step? My fourth step is click the login button. And my fifth step, see, I just specified login button. My fifth step is verify that appointment div exists with timeout 10 seconds. Timeout 10 seconds. And then my last step is close the browser. That's it. So now we need to specify these variables here. Go back to the variables, add the variables, username, and then add the variable password, and your username is John Doe, and your password is, this is not a password. So now you understand what is the difference between use case 1 and use case 2. So in use case 2, we are separating the test object by using the logical names. I'm separating the test objects where I'm defining the logical names for each element. And then I'm also separating the variables by defining the variables in separate section. And now I'm prompting the actions step by step in plain English language by using the logical names of your elements and by using the variable names directly. Now let us generate the Groovy code by using StudioAssist for this plain English language. Select the entire section here, right click, go to StudioAssist and select generate code. Now you see the magic. So you can see here now, scroll down, see here, open browser, the URL is being taken from global variable.g site URL, and then click make appointment. It automatically taking the built-in keyword click, and it is finding the test object btn make appointment from this particular page, and then fill in username. Immediately it has taken set text, and it is finding the test object from page underscore login text username, and it is also taking the variable username. In the same way, password as well. And then click login button. Immediately it is taking built-in keyword. It is suggesting the built-in keyword click. And then it is finding the object from your page underscore login object repository. And then verify that appointment diff exists. Here it is waiting for the element to be visible with the timeout 10. And then close the browser. Now let us save this and let us go to manual mode. See here, you can see everything in the manual mode as well. Open browser, click make appointment button, set username password with your variables, click login button, wait for the element to be visible and close browser. Now I would like to run this particular test case. Run on Chrome. It opened the Chrome browser and it's going to enter the URL from global variable, and then click on make appointment, enter username, password, click on login and make appointment and close the browser. So you can see here now all the test steps are passed. So this is how you can simply generate the code by using StudioAssist, by separating the test objects, variables from the actions that you define or from the steps that you define by using the plain English language. So this is our use case 2. Now let us see the use case 3. Generating script that calls another script using StudioAssist. Let us go to Katalon Studio. So here under StudioAssist, I'm going to create a new folder called reusable tests. So under reusable tests, I'm going to create a new test case called login, because login is my reusable step. So whenever I perform validation, I need to log in by using valid credentials. I'm gonna make this as reusable test case. So to save some time, I'm gonna simply record the test case. Select record web and then select Chrome browser. Click make appointment, provide username and provide password. And click on login. And I would like to verify this make appointment. Right click, Katalon Studio, verify element present. Now simply stop the recording and save your test. This is my test case that we saved just now, and what I did is actually simply I have replaced this username hard-coded value with the variable password, and also I've taken the URL from your global variable, right? So here, because I'm using the variables, I would like to define the variables here with the same name. Username, password. What is your username? My username is John Doe. And what is your password? My password is, this is not a password. Done. So now let's save this test case. So I'm ready with the reusable test case. So now let us create a new test case for use case 3. Right click on StudioAssist, click on test case, generate code, use case 3. Click OK. So this is my empty test case. Let us go to script mode, and here let us start providing some comments. This use case is for generating script that calls other scripts using Studio Assist. Okay, so now let us start our coding. Let us start writing the plain English language. First, I would like to define the test object. I have a list of test objects. Options. Once I log in, I would like to take an appointment now. What is the test case that I am automating? I already logged into application by using the reusable test. So now I would like to create a test for taking an appointment. So for taking an appointment, you need to first pick the value from facility, right? This is your facility dropdown. So that's why I'm going to specify it as options. What is that element? So this is the element. List facility. Copy the ID and paste it here. And what else I have? I also have health program radio buttons. Health program. So I'm talking about this one, health program radio button. This one. Copy this and paste it here. I have a date field, right? So this is the date field. I'm going to specify date, and this is my element. And then I also have comment. This one, copy ID, or you can do another thing. Go to the properties. You can simply copy this path. And done. Now you have make appointment button. So where is your make appointment button? Basically it's a book appointment button, right? So this is where. Right click, copy ID, and then paste it here. Now I have completed listing out all the objects. So now let us simply write the script. Write me a script to perform the steps as follows. What is my first step? My first step is find. What is my first step? My first step is I have to perform login. That means I need to call this reusable test case that we created earlier. So find and call the test case. What is the test case? I'm gonna copy this one and paste it here. So I can remove this. So find and call the reusable test case with the variable username. If you remember, we defined these variables in login test as John Doe and password as the password local variable in login. So if you see here, I'm using the variables in different way. One is I'm defining the username directly in this particular test case, and I'm asking to use the password from the test case, reusable test case that we defined as a local variable. That is our first step. And the next step is select the option. What is the option? This one. Select the option with the label. What is the label that I would like to select? I would like to select the label. Let's assume I would like to select the Hong Kong label. So let's say this one. So I'm going to simply write down Hong Kong Cura Healthcare Center. Select the option with label named as like this, and the label. Select the option with the label, and the label is not regex. What do you mean by that? Basically, consider the label whatever I'm specifying here as it is. Don't use any regular expressions. That's what I'm telling StudioAssist. Once I select the drop down list, now I need to check the healthcare program. Check the health program. See here, this health program. So once I check the health program, check means I'm going to select the radio button, right? So based on the English language prompt, it's going to take inbuilt keywords. And now I need to set the date. Set the date to, let's assume, 11/07/2024. Set the date to 11/07/2024. Once you set the date, you need to write the comments. Write appointment for Hong Kong as soon as possible in comments. Once you write the comments, you need to book appointment. Now submit. I can simply say submit the appointment. Once I submit the appointment, let's say I would like to, let's assume here, right? I provide some comment, submit the appointment. Now I would like to capture the screenshot. How can you do that? I can simply specify that capture the screenshot of the page. Done. And then simply I can specify close the browser. So this is how you can write the plain English language where you are calling a reusable test into this particular test case. Find and call the reusable test case with the variable username as John Doe. I'm specifying the username here, but for the password I'm instructing to use the same password that we defined under local variable in login test, right? So now let us simply save this particular test case. So let us save the test case. Now let me select all this line of plain English language that we wrote. Right click, go to StudioAssist and select generate code. So now you can see here it generated the code. Find and call reusable login. What it did? Web UI call test case. See, it is using the call test case keyword, built-in keyword, and it is finding the test case from StudioAssist reusable tests login. That's correct. And what it is using? It is using the username as the variable and it is specifying the value here itself. Selecting a label. If you see here, I am specifying it as select the option with label. See here, WebUI dot select option by label, because I specified select option with label. That's why it is taking built-in keyword select option by label and it is specifying the label. And then check health program. See here, it is using dot check because it is checking the radio button. And then set the date. I am setting the text in the date field. And then write appointment. Here also it is setting the text as this one, whatever we provided. And then submit the appointment. It is clicking on the appointment button. Either you can specify it as click the appointment or you can specify it as submit appointment. And here capture the screenshot of the page. See here, webui.take screenshot. This is the keyword it is using. And then close browser. So now save this and let me run and see if it works correctly. So simply run Chrome. Somehow it is failing here. Why? Because you can see here no such property password. So what we are missing here, right? Let us go to our variables tab here. Let me define the password as a variable because I'm using the password local variable, right? Password. And what is your password? What is your password? My password is, this is not a password. Password, and this is not a password. Now let us go back to again your manual mode. Now let us see how it shows. So now you can see here, let us go to script. Now let me run this particular test case again. First, it should call the reusable test case login and it should provide your login credentials. Success. And then it booked an appointment and closed the browser. So now you can see here all the test steps that we defined are successful. You can see here it is calling a test case, reusable test case from here, and these are the steps of your reusable test case. And then these are the test steps that we defined in the current test case. So this is how you can use the plain language to call other scripts into your test case using StudioAssist. So this is our use case 3. As part of section 2 in chapter 2, you will learn how StudioAssist can provide keyword suggestions and how can we generate script that contains custom keywords by using StudioAssist. Keyword suggestions and assistance. StudioAssist keyword recommendations overview. Real-time recommendations. StudioAssist analyzes the context of test steps. Example, if you are automating the test cases related to web, mobile, and API. And StudioAssist suggests relevant keywords, speeding up test creation and improving accuracy. Action-based keyword matching. StudioAssist matches keywords based on the user typed actions while providing the plain English language. Example, you might be using click or you might be using set text. So based on these typed actions, StudioAssist provides you the keyword suggestions. Prioritizes commonly used keywords for similar actions. Element specific suggestions. StudioAssist recommends keywords based on element type. For example, if you are using button as your plain language, then it recommends keywords like click, double click. And if you are using the element type as text field, then it recommends the keywords as set text, clear text, verify text. Testing type adaptation. StudioAssist adjusts suggestions based on testing type. If you are automating web application, then it searches the keywords like navigate to URL, click, verify element visible. If you are automating mobile test cases, then it suggests the keywords like tap, scroll to element, verify element text, etc. And if you are automating the API test cases, then it suggests the keywords accordingly like send request, verify response status code, parse JSON. Personalized suggestions. So StudioAssist learns user behavior over time and it adapts to frequent actions, providing tailored keyword recommendations. So now let us go to Katalon Studio and see how these keyword suggestions and assistance works in StudioAssist by using Katalon Studio. Let me create a new test case under StudioAssist folder. Right click, new test case. I'm going to name this as keyword suggestions. Now let me show you what kind of keyword suggestions the StudioAssist can give us based on your testing type, based on the user inputs that you provide in plain English language. So let me start with this / star /. So let me provide my first action. So my first action is I would like to click on this button make appointment. I'm going to specify as click the make appointment button with the ID. What is the ID? This is my ID. Paste it here. Now let me do one more thing. I would like to double click on this button. Let's say double click the make appointment button with the ID. Let me specify the same ID. And then now let's assume I would like to tap the make appointment button. Let's say I am actually automating the test cases pertaining to mobile. Then I'm going to simply specify mobile tap the make appointment button with the ID, same ID I'm going to specify. Let's say now I would like to fill the edit box. Let's say this is my edit box. Copy the ID from here. I'm going to specify here, fill in the username. What is the username element? This is my username element with the value with the value of John Doe. John Doe. Done. So let's assume I would like to clear the text from this edit box. I can simply write clear text from username. What is the element ID? This is my element ID. So this is how I can clear the text. So I'm writing the plain English language so that I can see how Studio Assist can recommend the keywords based on your testing type, based on the actions that you are entering here. Let's assume I would like to scroll. Let's say scroll to text of the element, let's say username. This is my username element ID. And then let's assume I would like to verify the element text. So I'm going to simply say verify element text of appointment div. So what is that element? This is my element, appointment div appointment. I'm going to copy this one and paste it here. Right? I would like to verify the element text of this particular appointment div element. Now let's assume I would like to verify if the element present or if the element is visible. So I'm going to say verify if element appointment div is visible. Let's say I would like to verify if elements exist, right? I'm going to say verify if element appointment div exists. So this is how you can write a plain English language by using Studio Assist. Now let us see how Studio Assist can recommend the keywords. So I'm going to select this entire area, right click, and then select Studio Assist, generate code. So now it generated the code at the bottom. So you can see here now, whenever I specify click, then it is using webui.click. If I am specifying double click, then it suggested the keyword as webui.doubleclick, which is valid. And then for mobile, right, see, it has taken mobile.tap, right, because I'm saying tap the make appointment button and then fill in the username. Now you see webui.set text, clear the text, webui.clear text. This is your keyword recommendation. And then scroll to text. You can see here webui.scroll to element it is using. And then verify element text of this particular appointment. webui.verify element text. It is recommending you the suitable keyword. And verify element is visible. Then you can see here webui.verify element visible is the keyword. And then verify if element exists. It simply says webui.verify element present. So this is how Studio Assist can give you the keyword suggestions based on the user inputs and the testing type. And If you keep using, the StudioAssist learns and prioritize the keyword suggestions based on the frequency that you keep on using while automating your test cases. So now let us learn how can we generate script contains custom keyword by using StudioAssist. So I'm going to teach you a use case. The following use case is for generating a script that contains custom keyword with StudioAssist. What do you mean by that? I would like to automate a scenario, end-to-end scenario, by using a plain English with the help of StudioAssist. Now, while automating your test case, I would like to use the custom keywords. What do you mean by custom keywords? It's reusable functions that you create in Katalon Studio. For example, click element. I'll be creating a separate reusable function and entering the text in text box. I'll be creating a separate reusable function in Katalon Studio. Compare string. I'll be creating a reusable function in Katalon Studio. So now, while automating your test case, you need to call these reusable functions with custom keyword functions. So how can we call those custom keywords while automating your test cases? To automate the test case, first of all, we need to create those reusable custom keyword functions. So that is the precondition. You need to generate the script for custom keyword function itself. For example, click element that receives a test object ID of type string before generating the code for your test case, right? So to automate your test case by calling the custom keyword functions, first you need to create custom keyword functions. So now let us go to Katalon Studio and let us learn first how can we create the reusable custom keyword functions. Once we create reusable custom keywords functions, then we are going to automate an end-to-end test case where you'll be calling these custom keyword functions. So let us go to Katalon Studio and let us understand how can we perform these actions by using StudioAssist with plain English language. Let us create a new test case under folder StudioAssist. Right click, new test case. I'm going to name this as custom keyword use case. Click OK. As we discussed, before you automate the test case, first we need to create the custom keyword that you would like to use while automating the test case. So for that, how can we create custom keywords? I've already published another lesson in Katalon Academy. I would recommend you guys to refer the lesson pertaining to the custom keyword creations in Katalon Academy. So now let us go to keywords folder here. Under keywords, I can see a package called com.example. I would like to create a keyword within this package. I'm going to right click on this package, select new keyword. I would like to name this as custom keyword. Now click OK. So now you can see a custom keyword has been created with the public class name called custom keyword. So now what I'm going to do here, I would like to provide comments. I'm going to say the following prompt is for generating a custom keyword for what? Custom keyword with StudioAssist to click an element that we pass in the function. This is our main aim of this particular function. Now let us enter the plain English language. /* Now write me a click element keyword that receives a test object ID of type string and does as follows. Means I would like to create click element function which receives the test object ID to that particular function. What is the test object ID data type? It's string. So what this function is going to do? This function should click the element, and my second step is if cannot click element, if cannot click the element, then what it should do? It should throw error by using try catch method. Catch web element not found exception. So this is my exception, right? Exception. And use keyword util dot mark failed. Keyword util dot mark failed to say that you cannot find the element. What is my third step? My third step is if other errors, then catch exception saying that you failed to click element with the keyword, again keyword util dot mark failed. And what is my fourth action? Otherwise I would like to mark the keyword as succeed. So that's it. So let me just again explain what it is. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm writing, write me a click element keyword that receives a test object ID of type string and does as follows. What does this line represents? I'm defining the function, how this reusable function should work. It should satisfy click element function, and I'm going to pass one parameter called test object ID with the data type string. And this function, what it should do, it should first click the element by using the object ID I'm passing. If it cannot click the element, you need to use catch web element not found exception and use keyword util dot mark failed to say that you cannot find the element. If other errors, then again catch exception saying that you failed to click element with the keyword util dot mark failed. Otherwise, mark the keyword as succeeded. So now let me select this entire portion, right click, go to StudioAssist and generate the code. See, now it generated the code at the bottom. What it generated? First, it is using the keyword. Whenever you create custom keyword in Katalon, you need to use @keyword. That's why it created @keyword. And then for function, it started with def. Def, what it is giving the name? Click element, because I'm saying that write me a click element keyword, right? So that's why def click element keyword. And I mentioned that you need to use the string, and then I'm going to pass the test object, right? So that's why it's taking string test object ID. So that means this function has a parameter test object ID. Then it created try cache block. Try webui.click. This is the object, the same object it is taking. Find test object, and whatever the test object comes to this function, it takes the same test object here. And then it is marking the test case as passed. It is using keyword util dot mark passed. And then if it cannot find the element, then it is writing another method catch web element not found exception E. Keyword util dot mark failed, cannot find the element. And then if you have any other exception EX keyword util dot mark failed to click element. So this is how you can create the custom keyword by using the plain English language. One thing you need to keep in mind, see, while using keyword util and also you are using web element not found exception, right? For that you need to import these classes util.keyword util and webui.exception.web element not found exception. So now we have created a reusable custom keyword in Katalon Studio. So now let us create actual test case. So now let us go to our test case that we created earlier. What is the test case? Custom keyword use case. Let's go here now. Now I would like to automate a test case by using the keyword that we created here. Now let us start creating a test case. Let me put a comment saying that / double star the following use case is for generating the script that contains custom keyword with StudioAssist. So this is my use case. So */. Now let us actually provide the actions in plain English language to automate our test case. I would like to automate the test case / start. So what is my first action? My first action is open browser to the global variable. What is the global variable we have? We already have g underscore site URL. And now what is my second step? Click the element. What element? I would like to click on make appointment. I would like to click on make appointment. Right click here. This is my make appointment, copy ID. Click on make appointment button using the custom keyword that we created just now, right? So what I'm going to do here, what is the path of custom keyword? I'm going to specify under single quotes. This custom keyword is under package com.example dot custom keyword dot what is the keyword function? Click element. Let me copy this click element, paste it here, right? Now I need to pass the object here, right? So let me simply specify that string. What is the string? Test object ID. This is your custom keyword. Set the username. What is the username object? Set the username object. This is my username object. Simply copy this ID and then paste it here with the username local variable, and then again set the password object. What is the object? This is my object. Copy the ID, paste it here with the password. This is my local variable, right? Local variable. And then you need to click the login button. Click the login button. Click, simply copy this ID. Click the login button with the same. I'm going to use the same keyword that we created here. Now I need not to specify everything. I'm going to simply say with the same keyword, with this same custom keyword. So this is my fifth step, right? So once I click, now I'm going to say close the browser. Perfect. So before we close the browser, I would like to verify that the page, what is the page? Your appointment page. So this is the element I would like to verify. Div appointment. Copy this, paste it here. This element is present with 10 seconds timeout. So now let us generate the code by using Katalon Studio. So simply select this part of the code, right click, StudioAssist, generate code. Now if you scroll down here, now you can see my first step is open browser. It is suggesting the keyword open browser, webui.openbrowser. And now I'm clicking the button by using the custom keyword that we created. You can see here, custom keywords dot com dot example dot custom keyword dot click element. It is directly clicking the element by using the custom keyword. And then webui dot set text. It is setting the text by using the username. And then webui dot set text. It is setting the text by using the password local variable. And here again, to click on the login button, it is using the custom keyword, custom keywords dot. It is calling the click element reusable function from this custom keyword. And then again, verify the element present. And then close the browser. So now let me simply run this particular test case. Now it should click on make appointment. See, it clicked on make appointment by using the custom keyword that we created. This is how you can use StudioAssist for generating the script to automate your test cases by calling the custom keywords that you created in Katalon Studio. As part of section 3 in chapter 2, you learn how can we create data-driven tests using StudioAssist by providing the plain English language. To create data-driven tests using StudioAssist, we need to follow the below steps. First one is, we need to generate script that creates CSV test data with StudioAssist, where you'll be prompting a plain language requesting StudioAssist to generate test data in CSV form. And then we are going to execute the script that is generated by StudioAssist to create the CSV test data file. And then we need to generate data-driven test script that uses above CSV data file. And following are the steps that we need to follow. First, you need to create a test data in data files, Katalon Studio, and we need to upload the above generated CSV file. Then we need to create a new test case, map all variables using data binding tab. Then in the new test case, we're going to write a plain English language prompt for data driven testing. Then you need to generate the test script and execute the test script. Now let us go to Katalon Studio and see how can we generate the data driven tests using StudioAssist by following the steps that I have explained you. So this is my Katalon Studio Enterprise. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new folder under StudioAssist folder. It's a test case folder. Right click, new folder. I'm going to name this as data driven test. Under this folder, I'm going to create my first test case to generate the test script that creates the CSV data. Right click, test case, generate script to create CSV. Click OK. So this is my empty test case. Now let us go to script tab and let us enter the prompt here. So what is our prompt? // Here I'm going to make some note. The following use case is for generating the script that creates CSV test data with StudioAssist. So let's close these comments. Now let us create a plain English prompt to generate the CSV file now. /* I'm going to say first create a CSV file named, here I'm going to provide the relative path. What is the relative path? My relative path is, if you go to the test explorer, we need to store the entire test data under folder called data files. That's what I'm going to specify. Data files / I would like to create a CSV file with the name data.csv. Okay, so this is my path. Using java.io, list out libraries need to import. So basically, to create a file, CSV file, we need to import some of the libraries from java.io and then add into data.csv file with 3 columns. So basically, I would like to add 3 columns in the CSV file that I would like to create. What are those columns? Facility. So this is the drop down in the application where you will be selecting the facility of your appointment. And then what is the visit date? Visit date. So this is your date field in the application. You'll be selecting the date. And then comment, where you will be providing the comments before you book the appointment. With 5 rows of the data. So that's what I'm going to specify. With 5 rows that comply with the rules as follows. So what are those rules? I'm going to specify here. My first rule is facility must be one of the following values. What are those values? I'm going to specify the values that are available in the drop down. So what are those values? My first drop down value is Tokyo Cura Healthcare Center. This is my first drop down value. And then what is my second drop down value? Hong Kong Cura Healthcare Center. And what is my third drop down value? Which is Seoul. Seoul Cura Healthcare Center. So these are the three different facilities that I have in the drop down. So I have defined them. Now, what about visit date? Visit underscore date in dd slash mm slash yyyy format, and then now comment field, which is comment is a sentence describing issue regarding making appointment. Okay, this is what I want to enter. So now let us close with forward slash. So this is our plain English prompt which I would like to use to generate the script so that it can create a CSV file with the required test data for my data driven testing. Select this entire plain English language, right click, and then let us generate the code. So now you can see here it generated the code at the bottom. So what is the code it generated? Let's see. First, I mentioned import the libraries from java.io that is required to create CSV file. So it imported all these libraries: file writer, buffer writer, simple date format, and date utility. And then let's see line by line. Create a CSV file named data.csv and adding data with 3 columns: facility, visit date, and comments. You can see here by using file writer class, it created an object. And then after that, you can see write the header row. It is writing a header row with the column names facility, visit date, comment. And then if you scroll down, it is generating 5 rows of data. We defined a string where we are storing the 3 different values of your facility, and I'm defining a format like date format here, ddmmyyyy. After that, what it is doing, it is creating a for loop. It started with 0 and it is repeating 5 times because I told to generate 5 different data sets. So that's why it is repeating the values from 1 to 5 within the for loop. What it is doing, for the first time, it is going to take the first facility out of 3, and then your visit date is going to create your current date, and then in the comments we are appending the comment. What is the comment? Issue regarding making appointment, and it is appending with the int I value. First it comes as 0, which is issue regarding making appointment 1, and then it's come back again, issue regarding making appointment 2, it comes back. So like that it's going to create until 5. In the same way, facility also, it's going to first it's going to take first one, second one, third one, and then again it's going to repeat first one and second one. So this is how it assigns the values of facility, visit date and comment for the 5 times. And then it's going to write the data into CSV file. Here it is using buffer writer.write command. And it is writing the data into a new line whenever it repeats for the next time. So now let us run this particular script and see. So let us go back to presentation. Now we have done with preparing a prompt in plain language and then we generated the script. Now let us execute the script to create CSV data file. So you can simply just click on run to start creating the test data with 5 different data sets. In CSV file. So now you can see everything is executed successfully. So now where is this CSV file generated? Let us go to this location to see the data.csv file. So here you can see this is my Katalon Studio root folder. Okay. If you go to your project, under project, you will have a folder called data files. You need to open that. And this is my CSV file that is generated by using the script that we executed right now. We can see this timestamp as well. Open this CSV file. You can see here now it has created 3 different columns: facility, visit date, comment, and the facilities keep on changing. It has selected first drop down value, second drop down, third, and then again it repeated first and second, and the date is today's date. And if you see the comment, issue regarding making appointment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means we're able to generate the CSV file by using a simple plain English language with the help of StudioAssist. So what is our next step? Our next step is, now we need to generate the data driven test script. Now we already have CSV data file which I'm going to use for data driven testing. Let us generate data driven test script so that we can use the CSV data file that we created just now. So for that, let us go to Katalon Studio. Here what I'm going to do, under same data driven test folder, I'm going to right click and create a new test case. I'm going to name this as generate script for data driven test. Click OK and go to script tab, and here let us start writing our plain English language. Here I'm going to start with // and then I'm going to specify the comments here. The following use case is for generating script that uses CSV file with StudioAssist. And now close this with /. Now let us start writing the plain English language to generate the script for our data driven test. So here I have a list of test objects. So if you remember correctly, in our previous section, while performing our use case 3, we have defined the objects already. I'm going to copy the same objects from the previous script, copy this, and then you can simply go back to the script and then paste it here. I would like to save some time. So these are my test objects that I would like to use. And now let us write the script. Write me a script to perform the steps as follows. Here, first I would like to call login test case. I'm going to again copy the same code that we have used earlier. So here, this one, I would like to copy this same English prompt, copy this, and then simply paste it here. So what I'm specifying here, find and call under StudioAssist, you have another folder called reusable tests, under which I have stored a reusable test case called login with variable which is username as Jando and the password as password variable in login, as password variable in login. And then my next step is select the option with the variable. Here it's going to change. What is the variable? We define the variable as facility. If you remember correctly, in our generate script to create CSV, we have defined the variables as facility, visit date, and comment. So these are our three different variables. So that's what I'm going to specify here. And the label is not a regular expression. And now, next one is check the health program option. This is very simple as we specified earlier. And then set the date with the, what is the variable that we used? Visit underscore date that we have used while generating our CSV file. Variable. And now the next one is write comment with the value in the comment variable. Comment variable. And then submit the appointment. Once it is done, I would like to capture the screenshot of the page. And then I would like to close the browser. Now, before we generate the code, if you go back to the presentation, so if you see here, we have directly prompted English language, but we missed these three steps. What are those? First, you need to create test data in data files. Now, under data files, I already have test data name. So I'm going to create a new test data file and I'm going to name this as test data 1. Okay. And here, let us select CSV file. What is the data type? The data type is CSV file. Click OK. And now here, I would like to browse the Excel sheet that we generated by using our previous script. Generate script to create CSV. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to browse that particular CSV file here. Browse and let's go to data files and select data file. Select open. And here I would like to say use relative path. So you can see here whatever the test data that we wrote by using our previous script to the CSV file that you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 rows of test data. So this is done, and then we created data file and we uploaded the above generated CSV file. Now create a new test case. Yes, we created a new test case, but we need to map all variables using data binding tab. Let's go back here. Let's go to the test case that we created just now and we just prompted the English language. But before you generate the script, you need to go to variables and you need to define all these variables. What are the variables? These variables: facility, visit date, comment. So let's go back to script here, add here. I'm going to name this as facility and then visit date, visit underscore date, and then one more is comment. So basically, the names should match the column headers of your Excel sheet. Okay. So once that is done, I would like to also add password here. Okay. Password, as we are using the local variable. For password, I would like to set the password as well. This is not a password. So this is my password. For rest all these facility, visit date, comment, I need not to specify any values because I'm going to use the test data from my test data file. Let's save this one. And now let's go back to presentation. Map all variables using data binding tab. So here, let's come here now. Let's go to data binding tab now. Here, I can see whatever the variables I defined, I can see under data binding, under variable binding tab. So here you need to add the data file that we attached here. What is the test data file that we created under data files? Test data 1. Let's select this one, click OK. Now you can see here the rest of the columns, test data value, these are all not populated yet. You need not to populate all these values manually. Instead, you can directly use map all button from here. Simply select map all. See, it can found 3 matches. Let's click OK. So now you can see here all these variables are mapped to the data type data column. And what is the column? The data column is coming from my test data 1 file. And what is the value? See, this is equivalent to facility. That's why it has mapped the value facility, the column name facility. In the same way, this visit date variable is mapped to the column name visit date from the test data 1 file. So like this, it mapped all your variables. Let's save this now. So now let us go back to script tab. Under script tab, I would like to generate the script now. So before that, let's close the comments here with forward slash. Select the prompt that we populated, right click, go to StudioAssist and generate the code. So now if you scroll down, it generated the code based on the prompt that we have provided. The first line of code, what it is doing, it is actually calling the test case related to login under reusable tests. And then the second one is select the option with variable facility. So you can see it is selecting the option by label by using this object, but the value is being passed through variable called facility. In the same way, now healthcare program is getting selected. And now here it is setting the text with visit date variable. What are the values that are available in the visit date column? And then it is setting the text in the comment field with the comment variable. And then it is submitting the appointment and taking the screenshot, closing the browser. So now let us save this particular test case and run and see if it can perform data driven testing by using all these data sets that we created from our previous script. So simply go back to your script, select run and then click on Chrome. So it opened the Chrome browser, and now it is doing the data driven testing with first dataset. Done. Now it should kick off again the same test case, but this time it should use the second dataset. You can see here in the drop down it should change. See, it selected Hong Kong, and now it says comment 2, and then third one it should open, and this time it should select facility differently, Seoul, and then it should provide comment 3, and this is our fourth iteration. So appointment 4. And then this is our appointment 5. So done. You can see here now, if you see the test results, I can see here this is my first data set. Let's expand this, which has a facility Tokyo Cura Healthcare, current date, and this is your making appointment 1. And let's expand the second set, which is Hong Kong, and issue regarding making appointment 2. And then go to third set. See, this is coming from Seoul Healthcare Center, making appointment 3. Now this is making appointment 4. And the last one is making appointment 5. So this is how you can generate the script to create CSV file along with the test data, and also you can generate the script to use the previously generated CSV file so that we can perform data driven testing. But the only thing that you need to remember is you need to create your test data file manually and upload CSV file manually. And also you need to define the data binding tab manually. The rest all will be taken care by your StudioAssist. Chapter 3, explain code using StudioAssist. As part of section 1 in chapter 3, let us learn how can we explain a script in test case using StudioAssist. Explaining a script in test case using StudioAssist. You can select a code snippet and use StudioAssist to explain the code. To generate code explanation, you need to follow these steps. First, you need to open a test case with existing test steps in script mode, and then select the desired code snippet, right click and select StudioAssist, and you need to select explain code. So you can also use the hotkeys specified here for Windows, and these are the hotkeys specified for Mac OS. So now let us go to Katalon Studio and see how can we use StudioAssist in explaining a script in test case. So this is my Katalon Studio. Under StudioAssist folder, I have created a new folder called explain code. To save some time, I have already automated one test case here. So explain basic script is my test case. You can see here it has a very simple basic script of login function. So now as a newcomer, I do not understand this scripting language. Web UI dot open browser global variable dot g site URL, right? As a newcomer, you may not understand what does this code do. So in this case, you can use StudioAssist to explain line by line code in a plain English language so that you can understand each and every line of code properly. So what I'm going to do, you need to select the code snippet This is my code. I have selected this entire code snippet I would like to understand. So now right click on this, go to Studio Assist, and here you need to select explain code option. As soon as you click on explain code option, now you see the magic here. So now here it gives you a high level explanation of this code base. Automated test script to log into a website and make an appointment. See how it is predicting and how it is explaining in a plain English language. And then each line of code. My first line of code, open the browser and navigate to the specified site URL. Click on the make appointment button on the home page. Set the text in username field. Set the text in the password field. Click on the login button. Verify the presence of appointment div element. This one. Verify the presence of appointment div element. See, that is what we are verifying here. And then we are closing the browser. So close the browser. So this is how you can use Studio Assist for explaining the code that you have automated by using Katalon Studio. So this is really helpful for any newcomers or for any users to understand the line of code. What is the purpose of that particular code snippet? You can easily understand. As part of section 2 in chapter 3, let us learn how can we explain regular expressions using Studio Assist. Let us go to Katalon Studio directly and see an example to explain the regular expression by using Studio Assist. To save some time, I've already created another test case under explain code folder. Let me open this particular test case. It is very simple test case. So this particular test case, what I am doing, the following prompt is for explaining a regular expression using Studio Assist. What I am doing here, first I am defining a date with string and I am passing the value time 10:03 a.m. Now I would like to verify the format of this 10:03 a.m. webui.verify match date value, and I would like to verify the format of this time with the regular expression. So this is my first digit of hours, this is my second digit of hours, and then colon, and this is my first digit of my seconds, and this is my second digit of my seconds, and then this is AM and PM, right? So now as a newcomer, I do not understand this line of code. So now I would like to understand what does this entire line of code represents. So I'm going to select this entire code snippet, right click, select Studio Assist, and then select explain code. So here it says verify if the given date string follows the format of hour, minutes, AM/PM. The code assigns a date string 10:03 am to the variable date, and the code uses a regular expression to match the format of hours, minutes, AM/PM. The code verifies if the date string matches the specified format. See how clearly it is explaining you in a layman English language. So this is how you can take an advantage of Studio Assist in explaining the complex, lengthy test scripts, so that you can save lot of time in understanding the existing framework and existing code base. This brings us to the end of our lesson. Hope you all understand the concepts of today's lesson, where I have explained you the AI powered test automation basics by using the Studio Assist feature within Katalon Studio. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon you'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you.